Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashimi, Habashai, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Noise in his gospel, bro. Lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashimi, Habashai, wherever it may be. This is a quick little lesson through the Spirit. It was what to be edifying. This title, something along the lines, we just got to get up out of here. Didn't have a really definitive title, but just kind of vexed in the spirit. Salakia. As being in this society, this kingdom would do it to you. Sometimes you just have them days that you just wake up and you just like, fuck everybody, fuck the world. You have more of those days than not. Because for one thing, you're surrounded by a bunch of around a bunch of imbeciles. I'll say it that way, imbeciles. Or just a bunch of people that don't really matter, or that ain't really worth shit, you know. And it's just like, how long we gotta endure this fucking place, man? You know, waking up, dealing with people with your job, you know, with their bullshit and their fucking political opinions and their social opinions on what they think life should be. And, you know, you have us tucked away in a corner somewhere and having to hold our peace because this isn't our world. How fucking frustrating is that, you know? But honestly speaking, it keeps you on edge and it keeps you on your toes because, you know, it's good to be vexed because that lets you know that you're in the right spirit. But even then, with the vexation, you want to see judgment because ultimately what cures the vexation is when the Most High starts to really put hands on these people, man. Like the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, of course, saying the prayers to the Most High. You know, you get online and you get ideas for a lesson through the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. And then you check the group chat and then, you know, brothers send things in the group chat and you check it out. And then lo and behold, there's a bunch of wickedness coming from people that don't mean shit, man. You know, and that fuels the fire because it's just like, how long we got to endure this fucking place? Like, I get online, I think one of the brothers sent something and then I check it out and all of a sudden it's a thread of a woman saying why women can't keep good men. And of course you got a bunch of bitches, and I'm gonna call them exactly what they are, and I really don't give a fuck who's offended. You know, if you don't like the fact that we curse out women and we call them bitches, then respectfully unsubscribe from the channel. Trust me, you won't be missed, and I don't really give a fuck who watches the videos or not. All right, if you don't like it, oh well, it ain't for you any fucking way. But anyway, of course, lo and behold, you got some bitch. Of course, there's a black bitch that that wants to argue with the fact as to why men ain't fucking with them, man. And they be the main ones asking questions about, well, why don't men want us? Well, for one thing, bitch, your attitude. Second of all, you don't know how to shut the fuck up. All right. Third of all, you just fucking annoying. Just go away. You know, and it's to the point we're tired of people and their opinions, man. It's time for judgment, and it's time for people to start getting dropped off. Okay, so anyway, well, I'm not going to rant too much because we can do that all day. But we're going to go into the book of Ecclesiastes 1, and I'm going to start at verses... let's start at verses 6. Let's start at verses 16. Because it all stems from this Edomite, this damn devil. You know, this peckerwood. And this is why the Most High is destroying their towns, like in Alabama. Hey, the Most High is jacking Indiana up with them storms. And everybody that knows about Indiana is a very, very racist state. Okay, I believe like part of the clans or the dragon members or however the fuck that bullshit is was founded in Indiana. But that's a very, very wicked state, and they're very cruel to Jake. Okay, if you were Jake, I wouldn't encourage you to go to Indiana and go to jail. That's a place you don't want to get locked up in. But anyway, this is the book of Ecclesiastes 1 and 16. And it says, and I commune with my own heart saying, lo, I am come to great estate and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. And we know that Solomon was the wisest man on earth at that time. All right. But it says here, that have been for me in Jerusalem, and yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge, and I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly, and I perceive this is also a vexation of spirit, man. And when you go into the word vexation, which you can actually pull up real quick, and it goes into the Hebrew word, what is it? Ra'ayan, right? And it goes into longer striving. But when you go to vexation and you look up here, it goes into annoyance, the state of being annoyed, frustrated, or worried. Okay? Annoyance. You know, and being here and dealing with these people, to say the less, it's that and much more, you know. Just waking up to the fact that we have to deal with a bunch of people that ain't worth shit. You know, opinions don't matter, you know, and just the mindset of these people, man. You can spew it out plain as day, and yet they choose to rebel. And the problem is because these people, this is what happens when you give stupid people an opinion. Okay, like I always say, social media is bittersweet. You know, it's bittersweet because for the simple fact, it gives stupid people the mindset to voice their opinion. And this is why, honestly speaking, I'm just ready to see people die. You know, as harsh and cruel as they may sound, I'm ready to start seeing people drop dead, man, or getting fucked up. You know, because it's just too much bullshit, too much rebellion. And overall, we know that won't change in this kingdom because this kingdom is totally wicked. So we're just waiting to see the whole goddamn thing fall. Like every day I pray for this place to fall, you know. But it says, for much wisdom is much grief. So the more you know, the more pissed off you become, the more aggravated you become. You don't want to be around people. And then sometimes the vexation comes at a time when you got to go to work and you got to be in meetings and you got to hear all this folly and bullshit. And you got to see all these women out of order, you know, having these so-called positions at work that allows them to be arrogant and proud and haughty and thinking that they shit don't stink. And it's just like, how long I got to endure with this fucking bullshit, man? Like, enough is enough. Like, Lord, start killing these motherfuckers, you know? And they get like that, you know? And it says, and he have increased knowledge, increases sorrow. So the more you know, the more aggravated you get, because it's just like, damn, common sense ain't so common to people. You know, it's common sense that women can't do what men do. But according to this world, I had a chick tell me straightforward, I can do anything a man can do. I just ain't got the strength. And part of my mind, part of me just really wanted to say, just shut the fuck up. Like, why you even talking to me? Like, how about you go lose some fucking weight? How about do what a man could do in that regard and lose some goddamn weight? You fat bitch. That's what I wanted to say. Because any bitch that say that shit, literally, I really want to punch them in their shit, man. You know what I'm saying? To humble that fucking pride, bro. That's why, hey, when all hell break loose, ain't gonna be no, like the Elder Mwantazak went into, ain't gonna be no mercy, ain't gonna be no 911. And all you simps out there that justify these women behavior, you're gonna die horribly, and you're gonna get it more than these women. Like, I'll jump over a damn woman and get to a simp any goddamn day, man, because you niggas are a fucking problem. Let that woman do what she wanna do, but the minute that his demon steps out on him, he's ready to crash out. Bunch of goddamn hypocrites, man. I fucking hate you people. Like, straight up, man. I can't stand you fucking people, man. You people need fucking death, man. Golly. Just golly, man. So I typed in vexation and it came up 14 times, right? Going to Ecclesiastes 2. Let's pull this. It says wisdom excels folly. Now, if we go let's start at 1, and I'm going to jump around. It says, and I said in my heart, go to now, and I will prove thee with mirth. Therefore enjoy pleasure, and behold, this is also vanity. Yeah, and you know, all things are vain. You know, vanity is not necessarily wicked, but vanity can be pointless in a lot of circumstances, man. Like beauty, that shit is vain. It's temporal. You know, but if that's all you have to live for is just beauty and being a demon, then you're like the scriptures say, the multitude that is, roughly paraphrasing, the multitude that is I'll pull it. I can't even get the scripture straight. That's how vexed I am. But it says here, and I sought in my heart to give myself into wine, and yet acquainting my heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was good for the sons of men, which they should do under the heaven all the days of their lives, man. All right. Folly, you know, madness, and going down. And it says here, then I looked on all the works that my hands have wrought, and on the labor that I had labor to do, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, And there was no prophet under the sun. Yeah, because it's just like, okay, this earth is given over to a bunch of wicked rulers, man. Esau, Edom, predominantly, okay? The base of men. Okay? Nothing more worse than having a damn devil rule over you that can't even govern his own goddamn world. You know, this and the fact that he's still in power. I woke up this morning and when I realized where the hell I'm at, you know, if you get good sleep, and that's a big if, I woke up in the morning, I was like, fuck, I'm still in this motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? Bound by other people's laws and being subjected to other people's time. You know, it's just like, golly, you know, like we need deliverance. You know, this is not the way we're supposed to live. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you're supposed to feel refreshed, happy and ready to get your day on, you know, to be productive. But instead, you wake up even more tired than the night before. You know, and it's this place is really sick. It's killing us, man. And it says here, and I turned and behold myself to wisdom and madness and folly. And it says, for what can man do that cometh after the king, or even that which have already been done? All right, but I'm going to jump around a little bit. Let me jump around a little bit. Let me find it again. Yep, matter of fact, let's just read all the way down. Then it says, the wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walking in darkness, and I myself perceive also that one event happened to them all. Then I said in my heart, as it happened to the fool, so it happened even to me. And why was I more wise? It says, then I said in my heart, this is also vanity, you know, because even as a man of the Most High, you still go through the bullshit that everybody else go through. You know, you're subjected to getting sick. You're subjected to dying. You're subjected to get robbed. You know, all these things. You're subjected to get evicted. You know, it's like you're really in the pit of scum with a bunch of people that don't fulfill anything. You know? And it says, for there is no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool forever. So this is like, you wise as hell in this world, but it don't mean anything because we're dealing in an unjust world. But it says, seeing that which now is in the days to come should be as forgotten, and how dieth the wise man as the fool. But therefore I hated life, because the work that was wrought under the sun is grievous unto me. Yeah. It's fucking pitiful, bro. You wake up, it's the same boring shit every fucking day, man. Same routine. I'm ready to experience something new, you know? Hopping in a car, going to work every damn day, or dealing with people. It's the same shit. Nobody get no excitement out of that, man. Paying bills, go to work, pay bills, go to work, pay off debt, deal with wicked hoes, you know what I'm saying? Wicked niggas. You know what I'm saying? It just like, enough is enough. Spending $300 for 5 bags of fucking groceries. Rent goes up. Car breaks down. You go get the car fixed. It's more shit you got to get done to it. It's like, goddamn, you know? And then when you try to sit down and do some things, you know, or get some type of footing or some type of balance, you're all over the place. You're moving around, you know? And, you know, you got to study. You got to keep up the shows, which is, you know, the most important thing in the world to do for us. But everything takes a toll on you mentally, man. You know, that's why this place got to get destroyed. But it says here, for all this vexation, for all this vanity and vexation under the spirit. And it says, and yeah, I hated all my labor, which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that should be after me. You know, so basically he died, and then another motherfucker steps up instead. And who knoweth whether, it says, whether he should be a wise man or a fool, but yet shall he have rule over all my labor wherein I have labored, and wherein I have shown myself wise under the sun. This is also vanity, man. All right, so at the end of the day, it's stupid. we gotta get the hell out of here, man. And that's just what it boils down to. No ifs, ands, or buts. All right, Habakkuk 1:1, it says, the burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. Oh yeah, how long should I cry and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence and thou wilt not save. Okay, every single day. Yes, the Lord is bringing judgment on the earth, but, you know, I'm about ready for the shit to hit home. You know, I'm ready to start seeing people that have personally afflicted us in our lives and came against the word and scoffed the word, you know, within this Israelite ministry of ours, to get jacked up, man. Okay, yeah, fucking Billy the Edomite might got his house thrown 3,000 yards across the fucking field. That's cool and dandy, but we want to see that happen to some of you Israelites, you know. You want to see that happen to you baby mama bitches and you wicked niggas, you know. You want to see that happen to niggas that come up directly against us. You know, I want to see shit like that happen to supervisors and, you know, people I work with and homos, you know, stuff like that. When it hits home, that's when it becomes more satisfying. Like, I remember when I was working this one job, this black bitch, she came up against me and she probably was talking shit behind my back. And then, like, the next day, I put a curse on her ass and the Lord burnt the fucking house down. She ain't have that proud spirit against me no more, because when she looked at me, I don't know what it was, but she kind of gave me a look like, oh, shit. And I gave her ass that look after I found out, like, yeah, bitch, that's what the fuck you get. Like, you don't know who the fuck you dealing with over here. You keep that bullshit and you keep it over there. Because the Most High will answer our prayers, especially when it's up to detriment of our well-being. Okay, I've personally witnessed the Most High acting on my behalf when somebody wanted to do me harm, and the Lord came and took them niggas out. You know what I'm saying? So how much more when this shit really goes down? But it says here, oh Lord, how long should I cry and thou would not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence and thou would not save. Okay? Because sometimes it feels like, okay, you know, I'm throwing up curses, I'm throwing up prayers, but nothing is ever getting done. You know, but the Most High does things, he does things in his own time. That's why it's always essential to continue to send up them prayers and ask Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to continue to move on our enemies, man. You know. Hold on 1 second. And therefore, and it says, why dost thou show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? It says, for spoiling and violence are before me, and there's that rise up strife and contention. Yeah, even among our own people in this ministry of ours, man. You got Buck Boy Pegasus, okay, the Momo, which he's a fucking mo. All right, see, you got to be careful when guys try to have that overly tough persona. You know, I call him the Steven Seagal, man. You know, the Steven Seagal, he looked like Steven Seagal, that big head and that ponytail and that mean mug, that little growl face. You know, I'm like a guy that wants to look all that tough all the time. And then you just got some jakes that just have a real stern countenance. You know, you can't take away from that. But his was more forced. He tried to make himself look like that. You know, like that was a face the nigga practiced every day in the mirror before he walked his punk ass outside. You know, the mean mug. See, a guy like that always got some skeletons in their closet, man. You know, but dudes like him, you know, and that whole Genesis shit, which that nigga Hakai, he's wicked. All right, and you're going to find out a lot about that nigga, too. And what's his name? Hassad. Soft ass, man. Oh, well, that's just too bitter. I don't like that. It's disgusting. Like, nigga, if you don't get your ass out of here with that shit, oh, it's disgusting. I don't like it. We do romaine letter. Romaine letters ain't bitter, nigga. Fucking demons, man. But it says here, in that arise up strife and contention, therefore the law is slack and judgment doth never go forth. Nah, man. You know, just the fact that you have to pay what they call an income tax, and we're not even making income. You're making labor wages. You have to pay an income tax. Get 30% of your money taken, which is already pre-taxed before they take that money. So you're being double taxed on your wages, by the way. And they take that shit. And then, you know, nobody goes to bat for that. Nobody goes up and, you know, wants to do anything about it. You know, people are like, oh, well, you know, it's just what it is. This is what we have to do. But yet all your tax dollars is going over to fund the fucking war in Ukraine and to fund TG or transmission research, you know, as to see how a puppy can lay with another dog or some shit, you know, and then they want to experiment on humans, and then putting $20 billion into another ordeal, getting you medicined up and all that other shit. Like, you people are fucking stupid. And the vexing part about it is the fact that you people are that damn dumb to the point all this information is coming out and you don't do a goddamn thing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all did something about it, that'll make the tension off us a little bit. Because we ain't going to, you know, we understand this isn't our world, so we're not going to crash out. But you people, you have nothing to live for. So, hey, we banking on y'all to crash out. Go and crash the fuck out, man. All right? Because at the end of the day, you're a bunch of dummies any goddamn way. So go crash, man. It's just that simple. Go crash out, man. Go do what you got to do. Because they just going to take more from you anyway. You see? But it says here, and the wicked doth pass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceeded. You know? Jake's getting 200 years in prison for fucking domestic violence, man. Dumb, stupid stuff like that. You know, Jake get locked up for telling his woman to shut the fuck up. She's supposed to shut her damn mouth, man. She's a fucking woman. The Lord ain't give a woman the mouth to talk back. You supposed to shut the hell up, man. You speak when you spoken to. And you black women gonna fucking learn that the hard way when the Most High allows these men to start stumping your motherfucking, start stumping you. Look, you gonna get tread down, man. Okay, when they start stumping your shit on the curb, all that proud, independent, boss bitch shit, that shit going out the goddamn window. All right, I wish I would run into one of you hoes in that day. I promise you, man, it ain't gonna end well. Okay, because you women, you got a lot of fucking lip because you got the cops and you got these simps out here that you know would protect you. But look, the simps ain't protecting you like that no more, man, because the simps are catching on to your shit. So what you gonna do when this society falls? Because this system will collapse. It will collapse. All right, and it ain't gonna take another 10, 20 years. At least I hope not. Okay, we're hoping that this shit collapses. Hey, look, they're supposed to be going over digital by the summertime, so we'll see. Okay, I'm not having my hopes up high because you know they say this shit all the time and don't nothing happen. So when it happens, it just happens. But I'm not holding my seat for it because you know this fucking place it ain't went down yet. You know, it should have been gone down already. But you know, hey, everything happens in its time. But it says here, behold, ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which you would not believe, though it be told to you, man. And that's us waking up out of this slumber. You know, this says here, this is the book of Sirach 21, and let's start at verses 20. The whole chapter is really good. But let's start at 18. It says, as a house that is destroyed, so is wisdom to a fool. Yeah, that's why, you know, Yahweh Shai said, cast ye not your pearls before swine. Everybody don't need to know everything you know, brothers, man. You know, I get it. When you're in a position full of dummies and people say dumb shit, you know, the fire is in you to correct. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to let stupid people be dumb because at the end of the day, it don't matter what you know, they'll never take heed to it because they've been poisoned and they've been indoctrinated by this feminism, by this culture, by this Western culture. Okay, you got men out here that really think that they're supposed to deal with one woman their whole existence. Like, how the fuck make that shit make sense? You know, you got men that, oh, ladies first. All right, well, shit, you ladies first over there. And it says here, so is wisdom to a fool and knowledge of the unwise as talk without sense. So when you go around people and they talking all this different psychobabble, you know, it's just like, golly, like I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to hear this no more. This is madness. And it says, doctrine unto fools is as fetters on the feet and like the manacles on the right hand. But a fool lifted up his voice with laughter, but a wise man doth scarce smile a little. All right. So when you understand what's happening in the world and when you understand that the schematics of this world, it ain't really nothing to smile about. All right. Because you got to the point. It's just like, OK, you know, enough is enough. Like how much longer I'm going to hear about this right, that right, this right, that right, this. It's like, OK, enough is enough. It's to the point it ain't even funny no more. You know, like certain things you could kind of shrug off. You know, you could kind of play it off. But after a while, it becomes like, you know what, I can't do this no more. I don't want to talk about this no more. I don't want to be around a bunch of feminists or feminism. I don't want to be around that shit. You know what I'm saying? Then it drowns your spirit. Then you become aggravated. You know? Perished. Golly, multitude. Perish in vain. I think I'm paraphrasing that wrong. I think the second address 9, if I'm not mistaken. Created in vain, the ungodly multitude. Let me find it real quick. Created in vain. Yep, second address 9 and 22. Yep, I was in the right chapter. The Wadi Habashim Habashai. It reads here. It says, let the multitude perish then which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept in my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Okay? It says, let the multitude perish then which was created in vain. You know, 2nd Ezra 8:1, it says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. You know, it says, and I will tell thee a similitude, Edris, as when thou axest the earth, it should say unto thee that it giveth much, whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of, even so is the course of this present world. So it ain't really nothing valuable here in this world. Most of these people that you see around you are going to be destroyed. All right, so with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. For his will you will edify. To the next lesson. Shalom.